Hi, we're going to talk about using our welding stands today. This is the welding stand we have in every one of our welding booths. We designed this to try to make it nice for our students to be able to weld in the booth. First of all, we don't really want to weld on the table itself. We'll use this just to set up our welds. So if we get too much spatter and everything, then we need to get this cleaned off and ground down to where it's nice and smooth again, so we can set up have a good setup for all of our welding coupons. We have a place for the gun to sit, so the gun can sit right there on the table in between welds. You can have some welding pliers that will fit right down in here and have them ready and accessible, a welding brush, a chipping hammer right here, and if we had our stick electrode holder, we'd probably put that in with the end like that. So okay, we always do need to make sure that we have our work clamp hooked to our welding stand, or else we're not going to be able to weld anything, because we have to be able to have our work clamp hooked up. But usually they'll be hooked up right down there at the bottom. With this stand, there's no reason you shouldn't be able to make a good weld with it. It's completely adjustable. We can loosen this and move the table up, down, left, right, and get it right where we want on the table, so it won't be in the way. This here is another part where you can actually use it as an armrest, so you can set it where you want if you want an armrest, and then you can set it here, and if I were welding, I could use that as an armrest and weld on up that weld if I needed to. Or perhaps we're going to set this coupon to where it was a horizontal weld, and I'll put that in here this way, or actually that would be a flat weld. We'll tighten that up good and tight. This can lower down or raise or move in any direction. So we could set that there, set this armrest here, and I could use that armrest to help me move nice and straight through that weld. So we've tried to make this as comfortable as you can. Now, it's important that we think about it before we weld. So there's certain things we want to do. With our welding coupon, we always want to put a handle on it. So we're keeping it away from this fixture here. That way our sparks don't land in the threads of the bolts, and we can keep it nice for everyone. So we'll keep this off to the side or down below it. Another thing that happens sometimes is someone will turn this the wrong way, and if this is sitting up like this and we're welding this way, all the sparks and all the spatter and everything will come down and land in the threads. We don't want to do that, or it makes it really hard to loosen and tighten. So, you know, we just need to think about it a little bit, and we just turn that down that way to do a vertical weld, tighten it, raise our table up to where it was comfortable, and we're good to weld. So at the end of the day, if there's much spatter on this, we need to go ahead and we need to clean it up. Sometimes you'll be able to clean it up just with a chipping hammer and be able to scrape some of that off. Other times you might need to go get a grinder, but you'll be able to fill it. If it feels like your clothing or gloves might catch on it, then it really needs to be cleaned. If everyone does that at the end of each day they weld, we'll be able to keep this nice for everyone. These two spots here are actually for holding stick electrode. So we'll put our stick electrodes in these spots to sit down. We don't want to bring too much stick electrode out into the booth, so it's only meant to hold about 4 sticks each. You probably don't want more than 8 of them in your booth at a time anyway. A lot of times some of the electrodes we're using are sensitive to how we store them, such as a 7018 welding electrode is a low hydrogen welding electrode, and that means that we need to keep the moisture out of it. So we store that in the oven. That's why we don't bring too many out at a time. So when you have about 8, that's plenty to do, and then you'll need to go get more electrodes.